Damn it, man, I heard the People's Revolutionary Army was once 1,000 strong. Now what happened?
They got government jobs.
Before I even get the party started, my issue with Nick Cannon wasn't him having all these different baby mamas. It was along the lines of him having white baby mothers and then shitting on white people, calling them Neanderthals and everything else like that. That was always where my issue laid, is in the hypocrisy. All right? So, we have this article coming to us from XXL. Akon defends Nick Cannon having numerous kids with multiple women, says that's how life is supposed to be. And if you can afford it, I am one to agree, all right? But let's get into this article written by Joey Ech. Sure. Akon is defending Nick Cannon's philosophy regarding having numerous kids with multiple women. In fact, the legendary crooner thinks that Nick's lifestyle is exactly how life is supposed to be. On Monday, December 19th, Akon sat down for a lengthy interview on the ZZ Mills show. During the hour-long interview, Akon opened up about a myriad of things, including his take on men, such as Nick Cannon and himself having children with various women, and defending what he believes a father's primary responsibilities are when it comes to having kids. He also explained that, in his opinion, many formative moments for children like holidays and recitals are not necessary. What we're going to do is what we tend to do around here. We're going to read through. We're going to make sure that we got the whole thing on point, all right? During an in-depth conversation about men and monogamous relationships versus being with multiple people, Akon explained that he believes polygamy, being in multiple romantic relationships at one time, is a natural biological thing. When ZZ Mills specifically asked what he thinks about Nick Cannon having so many kids, the Smack That artist quickly offered up his approval for Cannon's lifestyle. Which, once again, I didn't disagree in the video that I did probably like a year or so ago, when this was really starting to pop off. I said that my only issue, like I straight up said I would blow my load in all these bitches, right? But the thing is that, don't sit there and project that racism onto your kids, because that's what you'll end up doing. They'll end up hearing this coming from their dad, like later on down the line. They'll hear their dad calling, half of them Neanderthals. And that, I feel, is far more dangerous and damaging than the whole recitals bit. Do you agree with Nick Cannon and his spreading his seed? Asked the popular interviewer. I agree with him 1000%, said Akon sternly in the video below. That's how life is supposed to be. He's rich. He's responsible. He takes care of every one of those children, and the baby mothers are with it. They hurt for nothing, and they live comfortably, which, once again, totally agree with. To that, Mills then set the topic of multiple female partners and being wealthy aside and asked, what about the kids, though? Well, that's the thing. You can't detach the kids from the multiple partners, and you can't detach the kids from the lifestyle, because that is the lifestyle that the children will be brought into. What about them? Replied Akon. Nick Cannon is there for every one of them. And Nick is there for every single one of those kids. I got 9, and I'm there for every one of them. From there, Mills pressed Akon about being there for all of the important moments in his children's lives. So every single time, you're at every single recital, which is fucking stupid. You couldn't even ask that. Sorry, Mr. Mills, I don't know you from a hole in the wall, but that's such a fucking dumb question, because as men, like, there just ain't that many hours in a day. Every single one, of course not. Like, you can't expect that a dude with no job, let alone, how many businesses the likes of Nick Cannon and Akon run. Like, that's actually a fucking stupid question if we're being honest about things. No, that's a white man's thing. Akon, no, that's a good father thing. Do you try? See, here's the thing, Akon. You're supposed to lie and pretend as if you're trying. Did you not see Hook? Right? Like, you're at least supposed to lie and pretend like you're trying to get there, like you really do care. Like, I mean, like, and that's for the kids' sake, so they don't sit there and be like, oh, well, daddy didn't. You don't end up like Austin Powers and shit singing daddy didn't care. Like, no. There's like, to an extent, there is a certain level of lying you have to do to your children. There is, and that's more along the lines of protecting them and protecting their feelings. And so, just flat out say, oh, hell no, I ain't gonna, like, look, I try to make what I can make. And that's the thing, when you do make it, it's that much more sweet. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just that much more awesome and interesting. But for the most part, like I said, the initial question is kind of jacked up, because what man do you expect to have that kind of time to be able to make every single recital or dance, depending on what type of programs and activities the kids are involved in as well? But yeah, and the white man's thing, cut that bullshit out. Akon said he would. Akon said as he became much more animated. Who gives a fuck about a recital? Listen, my job is to raise my kids to be responsible. Facts. To be understanding. Facts. To protect their mother. Facts. To give a hand with their father and to assist with family planning. Facts. And to be responsible adults. Super facts, you know? Super facts. He added, my job ain't to be doing all that extra stuff. All these holidays and recitals and all that. Guess what? While I'm taking care of my responsibilities to make sure the family has a roof over their head and food, if I have the time to do that, then yes, I will do that. That's what I'm talking about. But you still, like for the kids, you kind of gotta, yeah, I'm gonna try and make it. Like you gotta put up that show of, yes, I'm super interested, but in reality, you can only probably make one or two a year, particularly with more kids that you have. Like, Jesus Christ, like, yeah, is this going to be like in and out? And then you got 9 kids. So like, honestly, you got to come to one thing a year, and that's 9 events off rip. Like, bruh. Then the kids gonna have multiple shits, but you have to hit at least 9 because each one has to get at least one, or they all gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" You know what I'm saying? Like, Akon's candid conversation about Nick Cannon and his many children comes just days after Cannon openly admitted that he feels a large amount of guilt over the fact that he's not spending enough time with each of his 11 kids. Yeah, nigga, you got 11 fucking kids. Like, that's the drawback, like 2, 3. Yeah, one baby mother, like that one small but strong nucleus of a family. You're sitting there spreading yourself. You've spread yourself and your seed kind of thin on that front. Obviously, being a father of multiple kids, it's always the biggest guilt on me is that I don't get to spend enough time with all my children, said the Wild 'N Out creator in a new interview. As for Akon, this is the second time this month that the convict culture boss has raised eyebrows with his out-of-the-ordinary opinions. How is that because we live in this culture now where, oh yeah, strong and independent baby mothers and oh, the masculine side, the male side, the logical side, because like if I'm spending all this time with my kids, how am I supposed to make the money to afford my fucking kids? Because most jobs you can't just bring your children with you, right? Most jobs. No, this isn't out of the ordinary opinions. These are actually rather standard opinions that just due to, the past 30 years of cultural degeneration, it's like, oh, now, you got a 20-year-old who grew up with no father around at all, looking at these opinions and these ideas as if they're weird. So yeah, no. They're not the weird one, guys. You guys kind of just came late to the party and got screwed over generationally. Sorry about that. Back on December 2nd, Akon defended Kanye West for praising Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. The TT Freak star also said that Ye has the right to publicly express any views he desires, which is a sentiment that I like. Once again, Double XL, you're weirdo. Like, hip hop is so dead. Hip hop's fucking dead because it's been overtaken by the feminine, by the estrogenics, there are no more Y chromosomes in hip hop. Because honestly, this is a pretty standard position to hold. I mean, any man, most men understand this, particularly those of us who understand what providing and protecting and the and putting oneself in a position to do such a thing entails and requires. So, like Double XL, what the fuck happened to you, dude? Cut this shit out, man. Get back in touch with your testosterone, all right? What's his name, Joey? Yeah, Joey, come on, man. Figure this shit the fuck out, all right? So, guys, with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like it, toss it a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Don't be scared to use sub. Enjoy my fantastic voice and want to get videos like this every single day. Share because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute like are the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from Teespring. Check me out on Odyssey as well. Links in the description. I go in the description box and do damage and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? Yeah, this is, it's standard guy stuff, right? Like, we all understand this. Yeah, the more kids you have, the more thin you'll spread yourself. Nick Cannon, my issue wasn't with you having a bunch of kids. My issue was with you sitting there having kids with white women and being like, oh yeah, white people are Neanderthals. My nigga, don't do that to your kids. that's fucked up. All right. And Joey, get in touch. Go talk to your dad. Go have a beer. Go get punched in the face or something. All right. Get in touch with his testosterone, because these are not weird or odd opinions to hold by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that maybe a single mother did you a disservice. All right. No offense. I don't know you from dirt, but just the energy I'm getting from, oh, these are strange opinions. No, these aren't weird opinions at all. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. And until the next one.
Your booze mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Every breath I take without your permission raises my self-esteem.